You will never scale your Amazon FBA business if you are doing the 3 mistakes that I am going to discuss in today's video. You guys know I've been talking to a lot of Amazon sellers, beginners, more advanced, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, sellers, not 8 figures yet. But you know, I've seen some common threads, and with the coaching, even I've seen some common threads in beginner sellers, and there's mistakes that stopped a lot of people from scaling, and this is what I'm going to discuss with you in today's video. Before we do, if you are having some issues with sourcing, if you are not too good at sourcing yet, I have a free course in the description, okay? We teach you how to source. This is the exact things that I am doing myself every single day when I source. It's a free book, so nothing, you do not have to pay with it, no reason to not get it. Link in the description, get it. Second thing, I'm offering one-on-one coaching and group mentorship. If you want to learn more about it, check the link in the description. There's going to be a video that will explain to you all the options that you can have, and you will see all the options in that page. So click the link, check the page, and if you need some coaching, if you want to scale your business faster, come on the coaching. All right, so as I was saying, 3 mistakes that stops you from scaling. The first one is going to be outsourcing stuff too early. And so outsourcing, when we talk about outsourcing with Amazon FBA, there's a lot of things that you can outsource. And the first thing is going to be the logistic and the shipping and storing the items, right? It's FBA. If you do not have a lot of money to invest into this business, if you want to scale faster, do not go with FBA just yet. Start with FBM. Start doing books, and especially if you start doing Q4. Right now may not be the best time, but you can still find a lot of profitable products with FBM. Back when I was in the US, my best product was an FBM product. Okay, it was a shampoo that was hazmat. Look for those products that people cannot send FBA. If you are seeing this video when it's meltable season, which is during the summer, it's not meltable season now, it's going to come back soon. Whenever it's meltable season, start FBMing those meltable products because people cannot sell them FBA, same thing. Because you may know it, but if you want to win the buy box, FBA sellers are going to have an advantage, right? And so for that reason, if you sell FBM on listings where there's a lot of FBA sellers, you may not get the buy box. Go for those listings where you can have the buy box with FBM, the hazmat listings and the meltable listings during meltable season, because it's going to help you speed up your cash flow cycle and get your money back way faster. So this is the first thing. But it is not the only thing that you can outsource if you do Amazon FBA, because you can get a VA to source for you, which you should not do as a beginner, except in some reasons. We will talk about it soon. Or using a prep center to actually outsource your prep. Now, the truth is that you may think that it is going to free up your time a lot, but if you are a beginner, it's going to be easier for you. And it's not a different business model, but like there's a lot of advantage with both. There's a lot of pros and cons, but as a beginner, if you prep yourself, you will have access to a lot of products that advanced sellers do not have access to, okay? And I talked about it in previous videos. You have a specific subcategory of products, which are products that are cheaper, that are not worth going after for sellers that are using a prep center, because the prep fee and all that stuff will not make sense. It's going to be harder to justify the prep fee, and so the prep fee is going to cut too much into the return on investment for that product. So if you're a beginner, do not go with the prep center just yet, except if, of course, time is one of your big bottleneck. But if time is not one of your big bottleneck, you have a lot of free time, go ahead and prep your items yourself. Do not go if you have a 9-to-5 job, of course it's going to be more difficult. If you go to school, if you have a lot of schoolwork, all that stuff, of course it's going to be more difficult. But if you have a lot of time on your hands, prep yourself, because you are going to have the opportunity to sell those products yourself, right? So do not go with the prep center. Go with those cheap products that are in between $10 to $20, and prep them yourself, because they are going to be profitable for you and they will not be profitable for sellers that are using a prep center. So it takes a lot of competition off. You will have way less competition. It's going to be easier for you to actually scale your business, because you're going to have less price tanking and you're going to have listings with way less sellers. Okay, so that's the big thing. Also, and by the way, I would have kept doing this when I was, because here's the thing. if you are under $50,000 a month in revenue, running the online arbitrage business model, as I'm doing it right now, is going to be like, if you are under 50,000, it's fine. But if you are under $30,000 a month in revenue, it's going to be a little bit tricky to keep scaling, because you are going to need to stay in maintenance mode a lot. Like I'm doing right now. But because I'm taking some money out of the business and all that stuff, to travel, all that stuff. But it's going to be way trickier to scale, because the profit margins are going to be lower, and if you are outside of the US, you are not going to have, like, your returns is going to be hard to deal with your returns. So for that reason, it's going to be harder to scale your business fast if you are doing this exact business model if you are under $30,000 a month. Because, for example, when I was doing everything myself, and you guys know it, when I was close to $40,000 a month, just with Amazon, I was, with just the US market, I was like probably $37,000, $38,000 a month. At that point, I was making close to $10,000 in profit, which is like it's more than 25% profit margins, because I was taking advantage of those things that, people with prep centers cannot take advantage of, okay? All those deals that have way less competition, it's way easier to actually keep scaling your business at that point, okay? But if you work with the prep center, all that stuff, your profit margins are gonna get way lower, most of the time under 20% return on investment, and under 20% margins, and way under 20% margins if you actually do not take your returns, if you do not work with your returns, right? Really depends on what you are selling. Now, it is going to be way harder to scale if you have less profit to reinvest into the money, and if you do not put more cash into the business if you want to scale it, okay? So if you can, if you have the time in your hands, and do everything yourself to scale, and once you cross 30, 40, $50,000 a month in revenue, above $50,000 a month in revenue, there's going to be no issue for you to keep scaling if you keep running this business model, okay? With the prep center, all that stuff. Now, the reason that I had to stop personally, I was forced to stop personally, because I knew that I was going to have to travel in the next couple of months, okay? So this is why in March, I stopped prepping that stuff. I started working with prep center, all that stuff, and delegating a lot of stuff when it comes to creating, like, prepping your inventory, all that stuff, because I knew that I had to stop, because I would have to travel for an extended period of time, because I had some stuff to work on overseas, right? So if I did not have to do this, I would have kept going with prepping myself and all that stuff, because I would have been able to scale way faster, okay? Still running some FBM orders, doing all that stuff, I would have been able to scale way earlier. But the only thing is that I was forced to do it. I was forced to figure out a way to actually make this business work without my physical presence in the US, to be able to actually, travel and do whatever I have to do overseas, which is almost over, by the way. And hopefully, I still have a couple of weeks left of things to do here. A couple of weeks worth of work to do, maybe 2-3 weeks. But if I did not have to do it personally, I would have kept doing it. And if you are in the US, if you are American, all that stuff, you are privileged, because you can do this. So take advantage of this for you to actually scale, okay? Take advantage of it, because it's going to help you, like, make way more profit and then reinvest way more profit into the business, okay? So keep this in mind, and let's move to point number 2, okay? Point number 2 is going to be not outsourcing soon enough. And I know this is the complete opposite of the first point, but hear me out. If time is a big constraint for you, if the time that you have in your hand is a big bottleneck for you because you do not have a lot of time, you are going to need to outsource stuff, okay? And then it's okay for you to outsource sourcing, to figure out how to outsource sourcing, and figure out how to work with the prep center, because you do not have a lot of time in your hand. And so it's better for you to outsource that stuff, even if you make less profit, if you cannot take advantage of those opportunities, because you just do not have the time to take advantage of those opportunities, right? So in that case, it's better for you to outsource soon. Like, whenever you cross $100,000 in revenue, get a sourcing VA for $100 a week, and even if you get it like part-time, like $50 a week, work 20 hours a week, it's fine, But yeah, like, you are going to need to outsource. If you do not have, if time is the biggest bottleneck in your business because you cannot invest a lot of time, you're going to need to figure out that stuff, okay? But in those cases, if time is, hopefully, if time is the biggest bottleneck, you have some money to invest because you have a 9-to-5 job, and you do not necessarily have to take money, or, you are going to school, so you are living with your parents and all that stuff, and you do not necessarily have, or you are in for example, you are in school, you have a dorm, and you do not have a lot of things to pay, because hopefully you have a scholarship, all that stuff, and you do not have to work. If you have to work, like I did not have to work when I was a student, but I like it's a complicated situation that we're not going to talk about in today's video, because I had a business when I was a student. But you know, you will not have to necessarily to take money out of the business, because you know, you are younger, you are in school, you are all that stuff, or you are working, so you do not have to take money out of the business to live. So you know, hopefully you know, like, yes, you have less time available, but you do not necessarily need to take money out of the business to actually to actually live, to be able to survive. So it's a better situation to be in. Start outsourcing sooner, and your business will be able to grow way faster, and you can potentially inject way more money into your business because it gives you some time freedom to do other stuff. If it's creating content, go ahead, create content, because you can reinvest that money into the business at the same time, okay? The money that you made from creating content. So if time is one of the big bottleneck in your business, yes, go ahead and start outsourcing way earlier. Get a prep center, get a VA to source. And yeah, so you just have to place orders yourself, but you have a constant stream of leads, okay? Because your bottleneck is either going to be time, the amount of leads that you get daily, or money, okay? And so if you do not have any of those three things, you are fucked, okay? You're never going to be able to scale. But if you do not have time and you have money, you need at least two. If you have leads and money, okay? Or if you just have money, you can have leads because you can just hire a VA, you are going to be fine. If you have time and you have money, it's fine. If you have money and leads but no time, it's fine as well. So you just need two of those things to be able to scale your business. If you do not have time, specifically, like, start outsourcing early, okay? Number 3, and we talked a little bit about this, and it's going to be the third thing that is going to stop you from growing fast, is taking money too early out of the business without having a second stream of income. And so it is going to make it quite hard for you. As I said, if you are under $30,000 a month and you are actually trying to run this business model the same way as I do, which is with a prep center. With a prep center and not sourcing a lot like I'm doing right now, it's going to be super hard for you, because you're not going to make a ton of profit. Best case scenario, you're going to make $6,000 a month if you're at $30,000 in revenue, because it's with 20% margin if you do a lot of this stuff yourself, which is going to be okay. But let's say you have a month with a lot of return and all that stuff, and you still need to pay a lot of stuff. Like, it's going to fuck you up big time, okay? Because you can get, if you have a bad month, you can easily go to 10% profit margin, so you only have $3,000, and if you do not reinvest any of that money, your business is going to stop growing. So in that case, yeah, you are gonna need, like, it's better for you. And if I'm being 100% honest, if you are under $50,000 a month in revenue, it's safer for you to actually get a second stream of income. Okay, do not put everything into Amazon, because you can have one bad month and it can actually fuck up your whole workflow, and it can actually set you back a couple of months, right? So it's better for you to actually have a second stream of income if you are under $50,000, in my opinion, $50,000 a month in revenue. And it may not be a second stream of income that will cover all your expense, but you know, try to get at least to $1,000, $1,500, like, depending on where you live and all that stuff, but to actually cover part of your rent at least. So the amount of money, what you really want to do if you are under $50,000 a month in revenue, is going to be really trying to minimize the amount of money you are going to take out of the business by having second stream of income and all that stuff, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much the 3 mistakes that I see a lot of people making, and especially the last one. The last one is causing people to actually stop selling on Amazon quite often. And if you stop, it's really hard to get back into it, because everybody's not successful, okay? If you've actually been doing this business a lot, you are gonna see. And if you are doing what I've been telling you guys to do, which is to export great storefronts, you're going to see that a lot of those great storefronts, after a couple of months, actually stop selling on Amazon, right? And they were actually great storefronts. So yeah, like, keep these things in mind. Try to avoid making those mistakes. And if you want to keep learning about selling on Amazon, watch these other videos that will appear on the screen right now. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for watching, because I release a new video every single day. I've been doing it for more than 1 year, so give me my flowers, because it's not easy, but I've been here day after day. And so if you want to be successful with anything, this is the thing that you need to do. It's going to be the exact same thing that you are going to need to do with Amazon, which is going to be showing up every single day. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.